I'm Kimberly Edwards from CookingWithKimberly.com, and this is Cooking Like Alpha Beta Pi. Today I'm showing you guys how to make steak fries. I'm making actually hamburgers tonight, but I'm going to make steak fries, and we're going to bake them. So this is a great, really quick, well, not so quick, it takes a little while to cook these potatoes in the oven, but it's quick for you to prepare them, and it's an easy recipe. It's like you just throw them in and then you forget it, right? So this is what's going on. I've got my potatoes. You can use big ones, you can use small ones, whatever. But I've washed them under cold water, and now what I'm going to do is I'm finding the little imperfections. You can peel the whole thing if you want to. You can keep them whole like this if you want to. But what I do is I just find the isolated imperfections. I take those off, or anything that I think just doesn't look too nice, because the skin is chock full of nutrients, and that's where the nutrients are most of the veggies and fruits that we eat. But what happens is we don't like what it looks like, or we've been spoiled all our lives and our mom's cut it off for us, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, this is where the healthy stuff is, and you want to try and ingest as much of that kind of stuff that's edible as you can. So what I like to do is I like to negotiate, and I like to put some on and keep some off, so that kind of keeps everyone happy and healthy. Got me? So that's all I'm doing. I'm finding the ugly little eyes that are on here, picking those off, peeling them on, and the rest, it doesn't matter. Got me? So that's what I'm going to do with the rest of these potatoes, and we'll be right back. Okay, so all my potatoes are done, and they kind of all look like this, okay? I actually have smaller potatoes today than usual. It just happened to be what I had in that bag. So now what you're going to do is you're going to grab your potato. Every potato, it seems to me, and this is how I do it, is every potato, seems to me, has a more narrow side. So that is wider, and this is more narrow. Got me? So what I like to do is I like to cut lengthwise along that more narrow side. So I'm splitting the narrow even narrower. Got me? So now I've got two pieces of potato like this. Now I'm going to put them on flat on the sheet, and I'm going to go every, maybe half an inch, and I'm just going to make a nice straight slice down, and then on the ends I'm going to try and keep those as uniform as I can so that they're somewhat the same width as the center pieces as well. So I got 4 pieces out of that side, and I'm going to do the same thing. So you just want to try and get somewhat uniform size. Alright, and this is what they look like. This is what steak fries look like. They're not wedges, but they're just slices. Got me? So they're like half moons. So I'm going to finish all of these, and then we'll be right back again. Okay, so I kept doing that until I got myself a whole cookie sheet full of them, okay? And now I've spread them out. Well, I'm going to spread them out, but you want to make sure that they'll all lay flat and they're not all on top of each other. Got me? You want them completely flat. So now we're going to season them a little bit. We're going to drizzle some olive oil on them, and we're going to use our hands and toss them. So just whoa. There you go. Eyeball it. It's not really a rocket science, okay? That was probably maybe a tablespoon and a half-ish. Maybe 2 tablespoons. I doubt it, though. Okay, I'm just taking some sea salt flakes. Now, you can use any kind of salt you want. Just sprinkle it on, whatever. But I'm using these guys. I really like them. They're nice and big and chunky. They're like the shape of little pyramids. And they are super cool texture on things of this nature. Got me? So I am going to just sprinkle them on top, crushing that salt a little bit between my fingers. Now, I'm not fully seasoning them. I'm going to season them again right before I serve them. But this is just to get, a little bit of flavor going. That's all. I'm also going to sprinkle them with some freshly cracked black pepper. Not a lot, just a little. Just a couple flecks. Beautiful. Okay. Also, I have an affinity for cayenne pepper. I'm putting a little bit of cayenne on here. All right. And now I'm going to use my hands, toss them, make sure they're all coated with the salt, a little bit of cayenne, the olive oil. Oops. The dog's going to have a surprise when they try and bite into that. Dogs don't really like raw potatoes much. Okay. There we go. Now flatten them all out. Put them as far away from each other as you can. My oven has been preheating to 350 degrees, okay? These are going to go in for 20 minutes on one side. Then I'm going to take my little flipper, my tongs, and I individually flip each one. Or you can take your spatula, scoop them, flip them, okay? Wash your hands. Into the oven they go, 20 minutes on your timer. Okay. Okay, so we're halfway through the cooking time. The potatoes don't look very cooked. They just still look raw, but they are cooked halfway, I would say. And we're just going to flip them over. So I'm just going to take my handy dandy spatula and flip them over in little sections to make sure everything gets turned. There we go. Now I'm using a silicone baking sheet, and that really helps nicely with keeping it from sticking to the bottom. That oil that you put on there helps a lot as well. So just flip them over, and we're going to throw them back in for about another 20 minutes. What we're trying to achieve is a nice golden brown color, just like fries would look. Spread them back out again nice and even. They should have reduced in size slightly because they have lost some of their water. Your stove might be rather wet when you open it. It might be very steamy, so be careful. Open the oven door and step back for a second. Also, if you have a vent at the top, you might see a whole bunch of water coming out, steam coming out. Don't be alarmed. It's just waters are wet, or potatoes are wet. All right, back in the oven. Put your timer on, 20 more minutes. All right, everybody, these look great. I actually flipped them over one more time just to make sure everything was well, and I threw them back in for another 5 minutes. So it took about 45 minutes. These look awesome. I'm gonna make a spicy ketchup for them tonight, and this is gonna be served along some really great cheddar stuffed hamburgers. Make sure you check out that recipe. And these are super hot. I wanna try one, but they're so hot. Don't laugh at me if I burn myself. Holy moly. Woo! Okay, so they're tender inside, they're super hot, they're crispy on the outside, okay? I didn't get a nice brown one. Let me see a nice brown one. Nice brown one. So you can let them go a little further if you want to make them brown like that. Or you can leave them lighter in color, whatever. Anyway, they're so hot, and they're really tasty and delicious. They do need a little sprinkling, darn it all, they need a sprinkling of salt, so I'll sit for 1 second. We're gonna go back to this really cool flake sea salt, just because it's a really nice texture to have on here. All right, everybody, and that's how you make homemade steak fries. I mean, it wasn't that much of a big deal. It's really inexpensive because it's just potatoes and salt and a little bit of oil. Easy to prepare. You're just, you know, peeling and slicing, throwing them on here, tossing them. That's it. It's done, skis, and they're super tasty. I think they're really easy to do. Anyway, I hope you guys make these. Try these out. This is how to make homemade steak fries. All right, everybody? Follow me on Twitter at Cooking with Kim E with a capital E. I hope you like the fan page. It's facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My shows are on youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly and ifood.tv/cookingwithkimberly. And my site is cookingwithkimberly.com. Shout out to alphabetapie.com. Make sure you go check them out as well. Alpha Beta Pie. And this is Cooking Like Alpha Beta Pie. All right, everybody, be champions in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye.
I'm staring, looking at you in the mirror. Mirror on the wall, tell me who you are. Tell me what you're looking at. You do this to yourself. Mirror, mirror, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want from me. It's not the same Tell me who you are. Tell me who you're looking at. You do this to yourself.